Hey guys, welcome to my video. This is Moondoggy. It's kind of the first one of these I've done, so bear with me. This is a video of an arcade domination match in a P51 Mustang with the cannons. That would be the tier 2 version. Rank 2, I should say. Basically what happens here is I'm playing this plane strictly to its strengths, not necessarily playing the objective. As you can see here, I start off the match with an immediate climb. I generally go off to one side or the other, and I try to keep the plane at 150 miles an hour minimum, usually only during a climb. Otherwise, above 200 is a much better rule of thumb, but you want speed or altitude or both, and all of your maneuvers should keep that in mind. Now what I'm doing here is trying to get up to about 10,000 feet. It's generally my comfort zone. And while I'm climbing, I'll be looking around, assessing the battlefield, trying to figure out the best place for me to attack. In this case, B is pretty much swamped. There's only one teammate there. However, I've got quite a few right underneath me at C, with additional reinforcements coming for them, so I decide to intercept. And I get my first kill. KI-43 gets his tail section blown out, and immediately afterwards I climb back up. So I evened that engagement up for my teammates. At this point, I have a decent amount of altitude and speed. I can kind of keep climbing while maintaining some decent speed while getting myself aimed back towards the battle. No need for any sharp turns here, pulling G's, losing speed or altitude. And at this point, I can reassess the battlefield and see where I'm needed. B now is kind of cleared out. I've got one teammate there dealing with two. And as I come in, he shoots down the IL-2, leaving him stuck with a MiG-3 on his tail. So he'll appreciate me here in a second. Come in with speed. Give him a shallow lead because he's not going very fast. And was able to take him out, but not before he took my teammate out. And now their entire team is going to C, from the looks of it. Rather than fly straight into that, I go back up. And nothing good can happen down in there. So again, maintaining 200 miles an hour at least. Nobody in this match seemed to be climbing. Usually I probably would have shot back up some more, maybe to 10,000, as I said earlier. However, I don't really need it in this match. Especially in this case, I noticed this I-16 engaged with the BF-109. He's going very slow. He attempted to climb on the BF-109, who simply dove away. And now he's going to try to do the same thing when he sees me, which isn't going to work. Built up some decent speed there and evaded my first couple bursts, but he didn't have any help in the area, so he was done. I didn't bleed off any speed. Go back into a climb. Again, I'm back up around 9,000, 10,000. Reassess the situation. Always be looking around. Most of the time I die, it's when I'm being lazy and not paying attention to my surroundings. So now their team has kind of spread out a little bit. They've got a couple groups of enemy fighters at each base. And they send a bunch of reinforcements to C. I'm not really in a position to drop down into C with that many enemies there, so I'm going to remain at altitude for now. I initially had my eye on a B-25 here, but I see a LA-5 coming at me. So what I do here is immediately get over top of him. He tries to extend his climb, but it fails. So right there he drops out, and then I drop right in on him. At this point I began my dive with way more speed than he had. He has no hopes of getting away from me. And he's done. Extend back up into the vertical. I'm still at 10,000 feet. Don't really need to do this. It's kind of habit. At this point I've got the battlefield pretty much owned from an altitude perspective. I don't think I'll get back up to 12,000 in this match, or even close. At this point it's time for me to start picking out not individual targets, but actual groups of targets. I'm also being patient here because we currently hold the lead as far as the objective's concerned. I don't need to do anything silly. Nobody's trying to climb up anymore. Everybody's pretty much 4 or so kilometers below me. At this point, I'm looking at this P63 in front of me. I actually personally selected him. He's the only other undefeated target in the game. So I figured I'd go knock him out. However, he has quite a few teammates surrounding him. At this point on my descent, I notice the target much closer. This BE-3 presents itself. Never saw me coming, not sure what he was trying to do, but he's dead. At this point I extend back, but it doesn't last very long. No longer worried about my altitude, just worried about making a smart decision with where I dive. At this point you can see that there's 3 enemies at B. They're all slow and low and moving in the same exact direction, and that cannot be ignored by me. First target A20. Most dangerous target from behind. He can use his gunners. The Lag 3 sees this happen and fails. He manages to make it, but the Ascender isn't as lucky. For some reason I always have trouble shooting at those things. They look funny. So at this point I'm up to 7 kills. And Yak 9 chased me out of that dive, which I expected. I was on the deck momentarily, but a kitty hawk comes in and takes him off my butt, and I'll come back and give him the assist, give him a thumbs up. Nice to have arcade players have your back. So that threat's removed. There's a P38 another teammate was engaged with. I do land a couple hits here, but I realize that he's critically damaged and already engaged, so I let him go. I let my teammate get those points. He didn't turn on me, so he wasn't a threat. At this point, the P63 that I've been gunning for presents himself as a target. He is alone and low and slow after having capped B. At this point, I just want to keep pace with him. I don't want to overshoot, so I'm trying to stick to about 350, give or take. He did some barrel rolls to avoid most of the damage there, but I managed to perform a nice little rudder maneuver here. Almost lost control, but it actually whips me around quick enough to get the kill before he can get his sights on. At this point I'm up to 9 kills. The most dangerous player on the enemy team is down, and we are currently winning the objective. At this point, I've sacrificed quite a bit of altitude, and I'm not moving that fast. So I'm again observing what my best move will be. The altitude isn't important because nobody else has any either, so I decided to get right back into it. At this point, my friend in the Kitty Hawk could use another assist, as he's about to fly into more targets. He sets this yak on fire, so I release it again, let him get the kill, and I go for the other yak. Always be willing to switch targets. At this point I'm up to 10 kills. My friend in the Kitty Hawk did not have situational awareness there, got himself surrounded by 2 or 3 other planes. However, I'm in a position to counter against all of them. At this point, one P47 is coming straight for me in a climb. I'll manage some hits on him, not quite a kill. And then this will be the final blow of the match against this D3A1. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Happy flying.